Okay, this is a video to look at how to stop obsessing and ruminating over your ex. So obsessing and ruminating is where we essentially cannot stop thinking about either the person, the situation, or obsessing about what they're up to, who they're with now, what's going on. We're just, all our focus and attention is over there with that person. And you're either rewinding the tape and playing it again, rewinding the tape and playing it again of situations and circumstances from the past where you're trying to maybe make sense of something or try and understand something or rationalize something for yourself, or you are just unable to stop obsessing over what they're doing in the present moment, stalking them on social media, driving past their house, like just obsessing over that other person. So obsessing and rumination really happens when we haven't quite accepted what has happened. So it's the process that we go through to kind of accept something traumatic. We have the shock event that has occurred. There's that period of time where we are just in that learning resistance and learning denial. It's like, no, this is not really happening. I'm not ready to look at this. Like, la, 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 la. Like, you're just kind of kicking the ball down the fence because you don't really want to deal with what's going on. And in those moments, I see clients that they're clinging to like the past. They're clinging to old realities. They are helping themselves delay the pain or delay the reality of their situation by playing tricks on themselves, telling themselves, I can get that person back, or if I just understood this piece, I think I could rationalize, I think I have a strategy, I could do X, Y, Z. This resistance, the minute we push reality away, we are not in a learning space. And if you're not learning, you're not healing. Okay? The other thing that I see with people that are obsessively ruminating is maybe they are accepting what's happened, but they're unwilling to adjust. So this is learning defiance. So this is when we're just like, I will defiantly not adjust to what has happened. And in fact, I will just cling to my version of events, and I will, replay the tape and play it again, or obsess about the person because I'm plotting either revenge, or I'm plotting an attack, or I'm plotting some kind of strategy to prove or avoid my need to adjust to what has happened, my need to actually kind of change with the change that has swept through my life. When you're in either of these places where you are refusing to accept reality or refusing to adjust to reality, rumination and obsession comes with that. What you need to do to step out of that universe of obsession and rumination is to understand that whilst we can't always control what happens to us, we can control our response accordingly. We do actually have agency to decide who we want to be in the face of what has happened. And oftentimes, when we are in a resistance or in a defiant space, who we are being is not consistent with our best selves. We're not living close to our code. We're not living our principles. We're behaving in a lesser form of that, like in a lower frequency level of that. And that you got to look a little bit strategically down the line, like, will you be proud of yourself looking back at your behavior today? Or will your behavior today be something that sits ickily with you, that isn't cool with you? Is it something where you're like, that isn't really who I am, and I don't really like that I'm being that way. I want to be a different way. So check yourself a little bit to see whether this behavior is something that is consistent with who you really think you want to be or who you are for yourself. The next thing to kind of think about is that when you're in that obsessive rumination space, your whole focus is on that person. You cannot learn or recover or heal or do anything when all your focus is on the other person. And all your focus is on diagnosing them as this narcissist or this psychopath or this issue, joining all the narcissistic groups, understanding all the terrible things about a psychopath. Because all your focus is on symptom collecting and proving your point or your justice or your narrative that you want to hold. That doesn't actually help you heal and grow and recover, because what helps you heal, grow, and recover is accepting your reality, facing your reality, and adjusting to your reality. If you're not doing those three things in a space of self-compassion, you're not learning and growing and healing. You're kind of on some other track. And this track of obsessive rumination is a short-term emotion avoidance tactic. It helps you avoid dealing with the changes that you need to make to grow and learn and change and move on. It's kind of like a distraction. So I see this a lot, in my work. I belong to a lot of these kind of online groups and forums and things like that, where people are obsessively replaying their tapes about what kind of narcissist or psychopath or borderline or bipolar person their ex is and how crazy their situation is. And a lot of these forums, the kind of agenda is to get attention, to get sympathy, commiseration, validation, for these are all the like symptoms of this person, and that's why I haven't recovered yet. It's because my situation is really crazy, and my ex is crazier than your ex. No, my ex is crazier than your ex. You should hear my story. And you're kind of sharing trench stories with each other. You're sort of commiserating, but nobody is actually looking at what they need to be doing to learn, to grow, to adjust, to accept what's happened, and to move on. So your obsession and rumination activity is just an avoidance tactic, and it's not assisting you. What you need to be doing is to kind of stop indulging in those thoughts about your ex and to be disciplined with yourself. Cut that person out of your life. Move on. If you have to co-parent with them, you can still set healthy boundaries so that they're not in your space all the time and you're dealing with them all the time, so that you can have that healthy distance to reflect and to process what has happened. To stop all the obsession and rumination, you need to process what has happened. And you need to be able to look at what you can be responsible for in a space of self-compassion, and in a space where you are willing to adjust and grow, and in a space where you face reality. These components are really, really crucial for you to stop that obsession and rumination. And I mean, we have hundreds of clients that obsess and ruminate when they start our programs. And by the time they're done, they're free from that prison. They're free from that torment. They're free from their quest for justice. They just let all that stuff go and they just crack on with living a great life and focus and get back to the life that they were leading. So if that's you, you're obsessing, you're ruminating, consider some of the points that I've made in this video. If you're still struggling, book a chat with somebody on our team so you can find out about our programs and start that healing journey today. Take care.